So I probably came across like 30 different languages on my mission, I'm guessing. Just different tribal languages and people from different countries. But the three main languages that you get outside of English in the mission are Afrikaans and Zulu and Setswana. So my first couple areas, I was in Zulu areas, or languages very similar to Zulu. So I spent a lot of time really trying to learn that language as much as I could. So to greet in Zulu, it's Sanibonani or Saubona, and then you always include like ma if you're talking to an elderly woman, kind of out of respect. So it would be, and you kind of raise your hands to show respect. So a typical greeting to a Zulu woman would be Sanibonani ma. If it's to a man, it's baba. So Sanibonani baba. And then you generally go into how are you doing, which is kunjani or unjani, how are you today? And they'll respond. So that's a typical greeting. Sanibonani kunjani ma. And that's Zulu. And then you have Setswana. My third area was in a village in Botswana, and they spoke Setswana. And even in South Africa, a lot of people speak Setswana. So I loved the village. So typical greeting in the village is Dumela, and that's just hello. And kind of the same thing, you kind of raise your hands to show respect. So Dumela ma or Dumela, instead of Baba, it's Ra in Setswana. So Dumela Ra. And then how are you is Lekai. And then you have Afrikaans, which is the white language. The people from, it's originated from German, Dutch, and English. So for example, it's interesting to say, what is your name? It's wat is your naam. So very similar to English, a lot of English influence. But a typical greeting in Afrikaans is hoe gaan dit? And that's just hello. So those are kind of the greetings in the three languages. It's fun to learn those greetings, and people really respect you as you respect their language and their culture, and they're willing to open up and talk to you as you learn more about them. So in their language, they don't differentiate between he or she in Zulu. And in a lot of the tribal languages. So as natives start to speak English, it's fun when they'll be referring to someone, a male as a she and a she as a he. So at first it threw me off, but then I got used to it, and I may have even done it sometimes. So they don't differentiate between he and she in their language. As well as, this is one of my favorites, a lot is not part of the tribal languages. So when you say, or really, I should say really. So if, for example, in English, if I were to say, I really enjoyed that food, kind of translated to a tribal language, it would be, that food was too much good. So they use the phrase too much. And so, you would say, this day has been too much good. So I love that, kind of those, how the phrases in the tribal languages get transferred to English. And I started saying things the way the natives said it, and they love it. So Zulu I had the most practice with because my first two areas were Zulu. Actually, my second area was a language very similar to Zulu. And in that area, maybe 50% of the people spoke English. So not only did I have to learn a lot for typical door greetings and kind of figuring out where the parents were and things like that, but we had some translators helping us in those areas as well. If people were really interested in the gospel, they didn't know English, then we'd use translators. So I learned a lot of Zulu. And another fact as far as the Zulu language goes is a lot of missionaries in the mission know Zulu if they're from South Africa. So I had a lot of companions that spoke it as well. We have a Book of Mormon in Zulu, Setswana, and Afrikaans. So the Book of Mormon is Incwadi kaMormoni. There's some cliques in Zulu, I forgot to say that. So there's three main cliques. you have a C click, a Q click, and then you have an X click. So C is on the tip of your tongue, and then an X is like you're calling a horse. So, and then a Q is kind of the top of your mouth and the back. So that's the hardest one for English missionaries to learn. So I'll say a sentence that kind of has all three of those clicks. Hopefully it's pretty good. So, for example, it would be, this is me bearing my testimony, basically. In Lati Gamarmoni ili iniso ingen ingi tandaza futi umoy ngwele ufagazi umina. So through all that, I kind of said that the Book of Mormon is true, and I know that because I've prayed and the Holy Ghost has told me it's true. So if a native heard that, it probably wouldn't sound very good, but I think the main message would get across. So it's fun to learn those clicks, and it's very unique language. It comes from the Zulu tribe, which it came from Durban. I think the strongest influence of Zulu people in the language is around the Durban area. And there's another tribe called the Xhosa tribe, which has even more clicks than Zulu, but very similar. So Xhosa and Zulu people kind of come from that area, the Durban area. I don't know much of the history of the language. I wish I should know more.
Almost all the Africans can speak English pretty well, but many of them, like among themselves, most of them speak Zulu. Like almost all Africans there understand Zulu. It's like the most common African language, at least in the Johannesburg area townships I've noticed. So it's good to learn a little bit of Zulu. I had a companion, my second companion, my follow-up trainer was from Swaziland, and his native language was Swazi. But Swazi and Zulu are very similar, so he knew Zulu as well. So just learn a few common words to greet them, and Africans always like that when white Americans try to speak their language. They think it's, I guess, cute or whatever. But so Sawubona is hello, and Kunjani is how are you. So that's something I would do, like Sawubona, Kona Kunjani, and they say Sipila, which is I'm fine, and you know, that's nice. And you could say Nikamuka, America, which is Nikamuka is I'm from, and then I'm America or wherever you're from. So, and they like that. A lot of the African languages there, they have clicks in them, which is, you know, fun to learn. One of the languages is actually called Xhosa, Xhosa. So yeah, you can learn that. It's kind of cool. I had companions from all over Africa, and they taught me a little bit of languages, but I don't think, unless you really immerse yourself in it and you're just a language guy, like don't expect to learn it. Because Zulu, all African languages are all oral. None of them have a writing. It's just like you can write. They use Latin letters, of course, English, but they don't have like a nat. So it's like, it's a language you learn by speaking it. I mean, you can get a Zulu dictionary, I'm sure there, or a Xhosa dictionary, but just learn like the simple greetings. I also served in places where the people spoke Setswana, which is the language of Botswana and also a lot of South Africa, near the border there. And like Husiaime is that's hello in Setswana. And another thing I've learned is Kekopa Metsi, which is can I have a glass of water in Setswana. So just try to learn little greetings like that. That will help you break the ice with people. And they'll find it kind of nice. And you know, people appreciate that when you're in their country. Like learn their languages, learn their culture, learn their ways. Don't judge it. Definitely do not speak negatively of it, but learn it and appreciate it.